I'm James.
And I'm Emily.
And we show you our actual weight loss journey with the keto lifestyle.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and maybe you might want to check us out on other social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. But most importantly, don't forget to get ready.
Set.
Keto.
So we just did our first interview
with HungryHeath and the sensational Shelly.
You can find their channel at HungryHeath on YouTube.
Or check the description below, and we will throw a link right there so you can go check them out straight from here.
This is a new series we're doing. It's called Keto Conversations.
Yes, and we hope you enjoy them as much as we do.
So here we go. All right. We are here with Heath and Shelly from HungryHeath.
Yes.
On their YouTube channel. And if you guys would please introduce yourself.
Like you said, I'm HungryHeath. This is the sensational Shelly. Or online, she's a Shelly Eats Steak, or like I like to call her, the Warden. We've been keto for what, a little over 3.5 years now?
Yeah.
It's all her fault.
You know what's crazy? We started in June of last year, and we just dove right in.
Wow.
And but we didn't start our YouTube channel until October.
Right. So 3.5 years?
Yeah. It was
Really?
February of 2019.
And then when did you start your channel?
I guess October of 2020.
Yeah. Ish.
About then. It was after Heath had a multiple sclerosis flare-up. Before then, we released maybe a couple videos, but we weren't real intent on doing much with it. We just didn't know what to do, right? Because we just always enjoyed cooking, so we were like, oh, okay, we'll just put out recipe videos, but we didn't set out saying, okay, it's going to be a keto channel. We were just like, oh, we'll just record some recipes as we make them. And then when he got his MS diagnosis, he was just at a very, very dark part in his life.
Bueno.
It was really bad. He just lost basically all hope, because at that point, we'd been keto for over 1.5 years, and he was like, well, why did I get this if we're keto? You know, it was just like, well, then nothing works. And so I just, to make him have that hope, or to find hope, I was like, why don't we just do your MS journey and your story and put that out every week? Because maybe there's other people that have multiple sclerosis and they can learn from what you're going through. And he talked to a couple people local, but they didn't have, no real connection, just oh, yeah, you just take the pill and that's it. And so we started the channel just in a way to document too, because if you go back to the very first MS video, he can't walk. He was sitting on the couch with an eye patch, and he could not walk by himself.
Wow.
I had to use a walker, and then I gradually worked up to where I was using a cane, and now I'm able to walk around halfway normal.
That is amazing.
He is being normal.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder what it would be like if you wasn't keto when you found out you had MS?
Yeah, because it was about 6 weeks in, whenever I was actually a type 2 diabetic, and taking metformin, those big old nasty horse pills. They opened the bottle, it stunk, I hated it.
Yeah.
And then the doctor actually called me and told me to actually stop taking it, because I was no longer a type 2. Because I wasn't really sold on keto until he called and told me that. And that's when I was full. Yeah.
Huh.
So
that's really awesome.
What would have happened if we'd never gone keto and you got the MS?
Well, I don't know. Really don't know what would have happened, because actually, shortly after I was diagnosed, I reached out to Dr. Barry looking for advice too, and he told me to try and go as low carb as possible, because I would actually help it and it really has. And
That's awesome.
yeah, it really has helped. So I don't know what kind of shape I would be in if I was not keto.
Right. Whether or not
Scary to
even
think
the
about,
pain
honestly.
would. Right.
So I watched your stories, both of them, when you did the stories. And I remember he saying that it was like, Shelly, you wanted to be keto, right? Like you did all the research on it. And I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember he's saying, whatever she needs, right?
That's why she's the warden.
Was there no fight? Was there no like, what do you mean no donuts?
That it wasn't that, honestly. The donut wasn't the problem, because I don't know if you've heard me say it in other videos. My favorite foods have always been tacos, burgers, and pizza, which is just bread.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
with a little stumbling block to get over that.
Yeah. But you can still have tacos.
Now
burger.
I figure that out.
Yeah. And for the
It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Right. And for the longest, he did not want to do
A
a bunless burger. Like, he was so against a bunless burger. Like, he was like,
Yeah.
no, that's just sacrilege. And so he would play all the keto substitutes,
Yes.
and they were just horrible. I was like, I would just rather eat it bunless. And he's like, well, you're not eating a hamburger.
I don't like substituting anything. We've tried the different breads and things, and there just really isn't a substitute. It's best to just eliminate it.
It was a learning curve, though.
Yeah.
Although
Once you learn.
the fried cheese shells, though, when I make the fried cheese for the tacos,
I
I would rather have them than corn shells now.
Well, I used to make my own pork rind tortillas, and I was really, really set on those. And I had my own little kit I put aside that I used to make them. But then when I discovered egg life, I was like, I'm done. I don't have to make these anymore.
Well, her and Noah, our 11-year-old, they love egg life.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my go-to.
Yeah. I just fry up my cheese real quick and eat them with chips or shells or whatever.
Right. So whose idea was it to start your channel?
Well, prior to keto, I had a website where we would document when we traveled. And then she just, I don't know why so much, because like if you go back and look, it's kind of silly to watch it now. I'm not really proud of the video, but the very first recipe video we did was the
chaffle
fries, because I've always loved French fries.
James has recently tried that recipe.
Yeah, I made a couple little chaffles and made them like that just for me and Noah.
I haven't tried them.
They're good.
Good. Yeah, it was just, well, we had always been foodies. Like we used to be really big in the food scene here in Houston. Like we would go to grand openings, or we would be like, get to go in before they open so you could critique them and all that stuff.
We probably joined every restaurant's what do you call it, their rewards club.
Right.
Where there's one pizza joint near us in the north of us here. They give you a whole 25-inch pie on your birthday.
Right.
So we're both signed up for that.
But
completely understand.
Yes, and we just always enjoyed cooking, and so he had written the blog, and honestly, I was just like, the blog takes forever to blog. I don't know if you've ever blogged, but oh my gosh, it would take him hours to write out like one day of our trip or a recipe.
And
it's
easier just to talk about it.
Yes. And then finally, it was like when the chaffle craze was real big, I was like, you know what? You need to do these chaffle fries. Get that recipe out there before anybody else does. And he was just like, it was the hardest thing to get him to do anything, because he was just so against being on camera.
I hate it. I still do.
Do you really?
She'll be on camera. She'll be the one mostly talking.
Yeah, I would have to, like, oh my gosh, the first few 100 videos, I guess, like we had so many outtakes, because he'd be like right in the middle and he'd be like, I lost it. And he'd get so mad because he would just take forever to film anything.
All
Yeah.
right. Have you ever recorded a video and realized that you didn't hit record?
Oh, I've lost track of how many times.
Oh, that makes her so mad. Up until recently, every time we were done, I'd be like, oh crap, I forgot to hit record. And she'd be like, oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You get a tongue lashing then, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
right.
that's nice.
Yes.
So our next question is, where did the name Hungry Horde come from?
I guess,
I have a real affinity for alliteration. Taco Tuesday is one of my favorite days of the week. So I was like, well, I'm always hungry. I've always loved food. And I was like, well, it just makes sense to call me HungryHeath.
Right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
But I was wanting to know
The horde.
where did the
Oh,
term
the horde?
Hungry Horde come
Yes.
from for
Oh,
you?
the same thing for the alliteration thing.
yeah, so
Same
I
thing.
think we just started, when we started doing lives,
Yeah.
we would be like HungryHeath, and then other people, I think it was like Renee
Mm-hmm.
and Blue Dove and some other,
Shauna.
regulars, they just started saying, oh, we're the Hungry Horde. And
Right.
he was just
That's
like,
so cool.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And I think it's awesome too, is that like with Rachel from 2KK, she didn't even call it HungryHeath. She just refers to us as the Hungry Horde. I think it's pretty cool. It's
That
like,
is pretty
almost
cool.
kind of a life of its own almost.
Right. It has. It's really cool though.
Thank you.
Oh.
It's like,
All right.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. No, you go ahead if you have anything you wanted
No,
to
we just
add.
we really look forward every week to doing the Friday night feast.
Yeah.
There again with the alliteration.
We do too.
Yeah. I mean,
We
Yeah.
do too. We want to see what you're cooking and get ideas from you.
Oh wow, well, thank you. Because I still haven't decided what, oh yeah, we have. I'll say what we're making this week. I've never
You guys do so good at finding recipes every week. I cannot.
well
I
what we
have
do,
to rack my brain so hard to just try to think of something different.
well again, going back to us being foodies, I'll
Right.
see a billboard or a commercial or see something on Facebook, somebody like a restaurant we advertise on
Right.
something. I'll look at it like, I can keto that, or she will.
Get it by it. Yum. Definitely.
Then
yeah.
prior to this, she was an amazing baker. She made all these different
Oh,
things from scratch. She would make homemade bread and whatnot. So she puts all that into what we're doing
miss
now.
that.
Amazing. cook.
Yeah. I'm not a very good baker. I don't know what the difference between baking powder and soda is,
Me either.
other than one's cold. One's
Right.
in the refrigerator.
Oh.
That's so funny.
All right.
Next question.
Yes.
We have a list written down.
Oh.
All right. So you know how you hear people talk about their keto, right?
Because everybody's different. right?
Everybody's different. So what exactly is your keto? And
Or how would you define it?
do you track at all?
Yes and no.
You start first.
I don't track anything. Like whenever we first started, I would check my weight at least weekly.
Mhm.
It got boring to me. I quit. And I basically tell people I just do berry method keto. I don't track
Right.
anything. I definitely don't count calories. I never did even pre-keto, but I don't even honestly track carbs, count them or anything. I just eat until I'm
Right.
full. And then I move on. If I'm hungry, I eat a little more. 'Cause a lot
Now,
of times-
is that because you pretty much know how much things are as far as carb wise? Like I know I don't track either because I mean, if I like, I personally don't eat
He
enough.
can say, yeah.
I don't eat enough vegetables to even count. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a few times a week. you
And
know?
when I try to track, it just stresses me out too much personally. Like you were saying, like you were over the scale after, just
it's just-
I get it.
I think part of it too is I'm lazy. I just don't want to track it.
Right.
It's like, I'm hungry.
You
I'm not-
track?
I do track. I've typically always tracked since I started.
Right.
So but I'm very OCD. So I like that control part. So it was, and it did teach me a lot, because you learn when you are tracking, especially at the beginning, oh, that's what a real tablespoon is. Because when you weigh everything by the gram, then you're like, oh, okay, because my tablespoons are nothing like the scale's tablespoons.
Right.
And so I do have a coach. So, and she's just has me now doing traditional keto. So I just call it traditional keto. Basically, high fat, moderate protein, low carb.
Right. We just saw your recent video that you did.
Yeah, but this cut, we're gonna try just not tracking, because she feels like you, it kind of stresses me to track. Like, and I get so focused on tracking, and I put all of my energy in tracking, to where then when I don't get the results that I want, then I get mad, because I'm like, look, I tracked everything, I spent all this time, and it's just not working out, and it causes more frustration. And she's just like, look, just let it go. You've been doing it long enough, you kind of know. And like you said, James, we really don't eat much vegetables, so it's we know we're staying under 20 total carbs.
Yeah, I'm to the point. I don't count the carbs in vegetables, because, well, I don't think I need to, because I didn't get over 300 pounds eating Brussels sprouts. You know what I mean? I enjoy them more now, because I don't have,
a variety, probably.
Yeah, because I can't have potato chips or fries.
Right.
Yeah, I was a chip person.
Yes.
But I don't even count the carbs in keto chow, because if I'm replacing a meal with a keto chow, I just don't track, and I would be okay with tracking if it's just a hamburger patty or hot dogs. But once you start making a meal that has 10, 15 ingredients, now it's just a pain, and you've lost me, and I'm going to delete the app.
It's probably not very popular, but I feel like almost like the tracking is the new in vogue or okay eating disorder.
Yeah.
He gives that vibe if I'm tracking to me, because he says I get obsessed with it. So he's like, you're going to have a eating disorder.
Sometimes I do worry about this one with an eating disorder. I really do, because
I eat a lot.
It's probably not, but she talks about the scale and things, and then she's fasting and doing things like that, and it just don't seem natural. You know what I mean? It's like, you're hungry, eat.
I do.
Right.
But
but it's hard to get over that.
It's gonna take more time, I think, before I'm just like,
for
me personally.
Another thing with the tracking is I remember I tried to track. And I remember one day I was up to like 2,400 calories.
And that stressed me.
And it was just meat. I ate probably a little bit more than normal, but I'm always between like 18 and 2,400. But we don't count calories. But when you go in these apps, they show you what the calories are. And I didn't want to see that. It's like, okay, I can't do this, because next thing you know, you're eating less because of it. And then you're not losing either.
And you're not feeling as
right. And then you're just hungry and miserable, and then you're more apt to go off plan.
Right. So
what is your go-to meal?
Yes, your go-to keto meal that you might have like every week.
Burgers.
Burgers and bacon for lunch.
Yeah.
We just have that almost every single
week. And it never gets tired of it.
But I know. Like, I could have a week where I make like chicken tenders. One time I did that for a whole week. I was so tired of chicken by Friday. I was like, I just don't want it again. But burgers, we have them 6 days a week for lunch. And I'm still like, oh, I can't wait to have burgers again.
Yeah, I like
That's so comforting to hear you guys say it, since you guys have been doing this longer. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Where did this little guy right here.
It was her idea.
The 5 Spice was her idea?
Yes. Well, she's like,
here's my thing. you always hear of a Chinese 5-spice. I think I was like cooking a lot of Asian dishes,
Right.
and I was like, there's this Chinese 5-spice. I'm like, Texas needs a 5-spice. We're as big as China. And so I looked up, I was like, I want to make sure there isn't. And I'm like, yeah, there's not. Well, let's create a Texas 5-spice. Texans love spice. So I was like, okay, what are 4 spicy peppers that are, known for Texas? So that's where we came up with the habanero, serrano, jalapeno, and cayenne. And then, of course, we had to add Redmond salt. And
Right.
that was it. And that's where it came from.
Yeah, this stuff is amazing, and
Thank
my
you.
kids love it. Everyone likes this stuff.
Yes.
Yay.
So thank
Yeah,
you.
on top of too, we have another version that's even hotter.
He needs that.
I've
I
already
think.
heard of this thing. And I would like some at Keto Palooza.
It's, we're
Angry.
some for Maitreya anyways, because that's her.
Okay.
favorite. So we'll do some for you too.
All right.
Keto products. If you had to pick one and only one keto product that you could purchase, what would that be? Your most favorite keto product?
Oh, goodness. Like, is egg life considered a keto product?
I
I
mean,
would,
I-
it is kind of broad.
it is kind of broad.
I don't know. I think I'd rather-
Like mine personally, if I had to put in a couple, it would definitely be Redmond's and Keto Chow.
Okay, that's a good one too.
And Keto Chow would have to win for me because
Ice cream.
I need it.
Yeah, keto chow for ice cream is amazing.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's so many.
Right?
I know.
You want one?
Yeah.
What, how about one each?
Okay, what would yours be?
Probably the keto chow because I use the tomato basil in my barbecue sauce.
Oh,
Mm,
Oh, they haven't had that yet, so I gotta bring that to keto.
no.
Because, oh gosh, because I would say even, I would have to go with, I feel like, electrolytes.
Oh, okay.
So,
I figured you'd say coffee.
well, coffee is not considered like a product, but I would say either the Redmond's electrolytes or Element T, and then Ultima. Some type of electrolytes. I think it's important.
Right.
you know, I couldn't live without Redmond's either because I need it.
Right?
It's hard. It's a hard question.
It is hard.
That is.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys got it covered. Redmond's and Keto Chow.
Yes, definitely. Do you, if somebody comes up to you, which I'm sure they do, and asks for your advice, or maybe they're thinking about trying keto, what is your advice that you give?
Well, we've got quite a few people, but usually we just tell them, hey, especially if they're currently eating the standard American diet, we're like, look, first, just eliminate sugar.
Mhm.
Every form of sugar, get used to reading ingredients. And then when you got that down, then eliminate the grains and the breads. And then finally, like the bad seed oils.
Mhm.
Now, is that what you guys did? Did you do a step process like that when you started?
Sort of. We tried.
He did. I think I was more gung ho, so I was just like
More both feet in?
Yeah. Whereas it took us 3 times to clean out our pantry. Because
Right.
as you learn, you're like, oh yeah, that isn't good either. Okay, we'll get rid of that. And
Yes.
Yeah, we gave hundreds of dollars to people
Yeah.
because we had to clear it out.
yeah.
I'm a hoarder.
I got a barbecue sauce sitting in there in my pantry that I gotta give my brother when he comes over next because I don't want to eat all the sugar in it.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, we had to get rid of it because he would have just kept eating it because he
I
would have
paid
been
for
like,
it.
well, I already paid for it, so I'll eat it. And I'm
Exactly.
like, no more
Yes.
canola oil.
Throwing away money.
Exactly.
All right. So Shelly, I don't know how long ago it was, but I heard you talk about Diablo.
Right? I love PC gaming.
Do you?
Yes.
Is there a sensational Shelly warrior running around Azeroth?
Yeah, but I usually use the name Lorinda.
Oh, so do you play World of Warcraft?
I didn't play, well, I played World of Warcraft, gosh, decades ago, but I've just been mostly, like all of the Diablos. So now they've got the mobile one. And then before that, I did like Dragon Age. I don't know if you've heard of that one. Mostly that type of genre on computers.
Right.
That's how I was. I like Elder Scrolls and World of Warcraft and things like that.
Yeah.
She's not her, just me. And then I had another question for Heath too.
Yes, as you know, probably know anyway, our oldest, his name is Austin, which is named after a specific person dealing with a specific hobby that we know that you are specifically interested in.
So is Razor Ramon your favorite wrestler?
He's one of. It actually started out Jake Snake Roberts.
Right.
Because, I don't know, something about him. And then it gravitated over to Austin. And then NWO.
Right.
And then what era?
I'm a wrestling fan. I went to my first matches when I was in 3rd grade. And I actually got to meet Razor Ramon. Because Booker T actually he's from Houston, and he actually runs a school here. And he used to, before pandemic hit, he was doing meet and greets. And we got to meet several of them there at his facility down in Texas City.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So would you say that the Attitude Era was the best?
Close. My roots, because honestly, growing up, I hated WWE, WWF.
Really?
I was old school WCW back then. It's still real to me.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know, WWF was kind of like comic books or whatever to me. It seemed fake. Didn't seem
I would flip back and forth on Monday night.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, it was just Nitro.
Yeah. Well, until Austin came around, then I fell over into WWE. Yeah. He's my current fave. Well, then Grant from him over to CM Punk. We'll get on a tangent talking about wrestling.
I know. There's another question that I forgot that I wanted to ask you, because I have found, at least for us, since we've started keto, we tend to buy a lot more small appliances or other ways to cook meat, obviously. What is your favorite, either small appliance or some type of cooking gadget? Yes. Two?
The air fryer and the Instant Pot.
Really?
If I'm not barbecuing, that's my next apparatus I like to use.
I would say
That surprises me because I feel like I use the air fryer less now.
It's so easy. I use it.
Maybe I'm just cooking the wrong things.
well, we do like a lot of stuffed peppers and mushrooms.
Right.
Real easy in the air fryer.
Okay, I've never tried it.
Like I eat a link sausage, either chorizo or just regular sausage for breakfast.
Right.
So I just put it there, 10 minutes, 400, and it's done.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, what's funny is now our Instant Pot gets used at least once a week for a couple dozen eggs.
I do 36 at a time when I do them in the Instant Pot.
And it seems like once a week we either cook brats or a roast in our Instant Pot, but our air fryer has been used so seldom.
Right.
Maybe it's just the type, because we got the round one and I don't know, it seems like everything you put in there, it blows around and turns into a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would sound like our first one. I was not happy with the first one we got. Was a Gourmia or something like that. And
what kind do you have?
It was like the basket.
Right.
Got it at Costco, and you couldn't ever cook much in it to begin with because it was so
That's
small.
how I feel.
And yeah, so it would take forever to cook anything. And then it was hard to clean. And I just really didn't like it. So we took it back to Costco, and then we got the one we have now, which,
Cuisinart.
yeah, which I really like because you open it up and it's got a full size tray. So it's more
Really?
like a convection oven.
In
'Cause,
fact, it is.
yeah, you can even use it as a convection oven or a bake.
Okay.
Like, it's got all the different options.
Right.
Like when we were stuck in the hotel for 4 months, we used that all
We
the time because we
packed it
could
up, took it with
bake.
us.
Yeah, because we could
Wow.
bake, air fry, anything we wanted.
Because that,
Maybe that would change my mind if we had one like that. Don't you think?
it was in
Yeah,
a
because ours is,
an oven. It only had a 2-burner stove, so that was our oven.
Right.
yeah, ours is just so small. And like I said, if we tried to put peppers in there, it would blow them all. It would just take all the ingredients and
Dump them.
make a melted mess.
Yes.
So, but yeah, we use our oven a lot. I would say the air fryers are the least used.
Oh, wow.
I would,
Yeah.
but again, if we had one like you have,
Yeah.
that might be a game changer.
It does make a world of difference. Like
Right.
I'm happier with this one. I wouldn't want the basket type.
No.
Right. We have just the Ninja, the pull out round, like this big. So you can fit literally like 2 or 3 burgers and that's it.
Right. It's just
Oh.
so small.
Right.
So
And
do
we
you-
tend to make like 6 pounds of burgers at a time.
Do you make anything else in the Instapot other than eggs?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
we got dinner. We're sitting in it right now. I made a couple of roasts, just make shredded beef.
Yum.
Oh, yeah.
Tacos for tomorrow
Yeah.
too?
Yeah,
Yeah. And
we have some of those cross-cut ribs, which is the little bitty one, you know? I had
Right.
in the freezer I forgot about, so I threw them in there with it as well.
When?
and then we also like we can't really tell a difference between a smoked pork butt
Right.
and one that isn't. So we just take pork butts and usually do those in the Instant Pot
Really?
anyways. And it's just so
Huh.
much faster.
And now I have a pellet smoker instead of a traditional stick burner. So
Oh, I'm
why
jealous.
if it's not gonna really smoke it like it did, you know, so.
Yeah.
Why-
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the only cut of meat that you've noticed that doesn't really make a difference smoking?
And mostly it's the pork butt, I
Yeah.
guess because there's so much, the pork butt, the surface area is so small, compared
Right.
to the meat. I guess that's really it that I've noticed as far as smoking.
Right.
Right.
I've never tried doing a brisket in Instant Pot, but,
That just seems sacrilege.
right.
We have done brisket in there.
We're
Oh.
not from Texas though, so
We don't have a smoker because
him,
Yeah, but,
I'm always gonna
I just
blame him.
I just haven't.
yeah.
Gotten on board yet.
Yeah.
And most
You know,
people don't realize whatever you cook on a smoker, you can also do in your oven. That's all it is a wood burning oven. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's just, you know how when you get something, you got to devote a lot of time to learning it.
Right.
I just haven't been ready yet.
That's fine.
That's fine. And it's a big investment too.
Right.
Yeah, and not only that, but it seems like every time I figure something out on the computer, I didn't have computers in high school.
Right.
Every time I figure something out on the computer, there's something else I need to figure out.
Mhm.
You know, having this channel has been a complete learning experience, and I'm sure it has for you too.
Oh, yeah. I'm still learning.
You know, I mean, you don't know this, well, you do, but people watching, they don't know the stress until you hit live and nothing works.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, so since you guys started keto and being healthier and things like that, how has the libido been?
He doesn't want to say too much.
I mean, has there been an increase?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I would say,
it's a happy marriage.
like Dr. Berry always says, you know, the more meat you eat, like he's noticed that carnivores, like they just every day, you know, they're
Oh, you're already making me look bad, Heath.
so yeah, it's definitely increased substantially, I feel like.
And
This has been a big question just because we know that it has improved our marriage, I
well,
think. I guess if you want to word it like that.
So I think part of it is you feel better. And when you feel good, you want to do other things that feel good, right? Because
Right.
before keto, I was always sick all the time.
Hmm.
Colitis and stuff. I just felt miserable all the time. And when you feel
Right.
miserable like that, you don't want to do anything else. You just want to crawl in bed and go to sleep.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, now when you feel better, and I feel like especially you with the DDPY, it gives you more flexibility,
mhm.
and that helps as well.
Right.
And we know Heath loves the DDPY.
Sorry.
I like it how when DDPY is brought up, he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing it."
I'm just tired of talking about it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, it's redundant. Let's talk about something fun.
Right.
Anything I know I have to do seems like a chore. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like just a chore. Even if you like it, it's just it turns into a chore
Yes.
because it's like I have to do it. You know, I mean, working out ain't getting any easier.
No,
Or, you know, there's the people who love to work out, and then there's me.
have it. They can do mine too. Then
You know, I'd be better working out if someone says that I can't. I'll be, oh yeah.
I'll show you.
But when it's expected, I don't want to do it.
Right. Yes, that's how I am too.
Yes.
Oh, oh,
Noah, dying to say hello.
Okay.
oh, no, yeah, oh yeah. If he got a shirt on, he's dying to say hello. Say hello.
what's up, brother?
Hey,
This is-
Noah.
How you
This
doing?
is our 11-year-old Noah,
Nice.
and he does keto with us.
Nice.
And it's not always the strictest, but it's still
It's not always the strictest, and he's sometimes very unhappy because he doesn't get the treats that he used to.
Well,
Trust me, it's not worth it, man. I used to love treats. I used to talk about probably a 12-pack of soda a day.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Heath, just out of curiosity, you were in your past videos, didn't you think that you were probably 500?
probably. Whenever we got the first bought the scale, it capped at 460.
yeah.
So that's where it maxed out. That's where as far the needle went. So there's no
Right.
doubt over that. It just didn't tell me. You know what I mean? It wouldn't read it correctly.
Right.
And so was it safe to say you're about what, 200 down?
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you don't realize how bad you feel. You don't realize that you felt bad until you feel good.
Good.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Until you feel nothing anyway. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
you know, I noticed one day when I was at work, it was like, my knee's not hurting.
Mm.
I'm sure you had plenty of them moments.
Yes. Well, we used to have a hot tub, and there's a
Right.
back porch. There's a the railing around it.
Mhm.
Right.
That would fit in between the railing and the back, and then that hot tub. And I was cleaning something one day, and I looked at her and I said, "Look at that, skinny Heath can fit over there."
I know.
It was amazing.
Well, and even like before we went keto, he never felt like he was like overweight, right? Like you never had that mentality of, oh, I'm just so huge, I'm 500 pounds. Like he was just Heath. And like we just knew before we went anywhere, we'd call ahead, what is the seating like there? If it's a booth,
I ain't going.
no. If it's
Right.
chairs, no, we just wouldn't go. So you just
Yeah.
got so used to doing that now, like we don't. We just show up and
I
like,
look forward to sitting at the booth now.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, you just don't worry about it.
Right.
right.
You know, I mean, that probably, if you went to wrestling, and I mean, I know at the arenas, the chairs are so small.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like a lot of times you wouldn't want to go to outings like that because
I didn't
there
even,
wouldn't be room.
didn't want to get on a plane because,
Oh,
you know what I mean? And now you don't even think about that anymore.
Right.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, and you know what? It's little things like that. That stuff is embarrassing.
Yes.
When, you know, or I would get in the car for a roller coaster and just, you know, pray that the thing would latch.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be embarrassed in front of everybody.
Do the walk of shame when it didn't fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and things like that just make you not even want to get in line because you just don't know. And why even take the chance of embarrassment?
With that being said, what would you say your most favorite non-scale victory would be during this whole journey that you noticed that's just still a wow factor to you? Corey?
So that was my favorite, was meeting y'all.
Oh,
Well, you'll meet us in September.
I can't wait for that.
Right? They'll be here soon.
I will.
I know.
Other than that, honestly, no.
I mean, for you, wouldn't it be walking?
Probably. Yeah, because we ended up one of the trips when we went to when we were in New York, we walked all of
Central Park.
Central Park, and I didn't even bat an eye about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That before.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's important. I mean,
Right?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just help, like no longer being a diabetic. That just
Yes.
means the world to me. Like,
Yes. And I ask that because I know when we started, it was all about the scale for me personally.
all about the scale. It
All
was,
about the scale.
let's
Weighing
hurry up.
myself every day.
Hurry up, get this over with so we can be done with it.
Right. But as over the year,
It's over here.
yeah, there's
Well-
been so many other things where it's like, I shouldn't care about that scale.
I know too much. I can't go back.
Right.
mhm.
I figured I didn't put all my weight on overnight, so it's not going to come
Right.
off.
Right.
Trust the process and just keep on.
Right.
Mhm.
100%.
And that's probably a good thing to tell someone new too. Just trust the process and move on, because
Right.
you know, I've told so many people about keto, and you know, the first week they lose the 8 pounds of water weight, and then the second week they're, you know, mean mugging me. I didn't lose anything.
Right?
You know, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do about it? You know,
The only real drawback to losing all the weight I found is I had all those clothes that were just way too huge for me. I found
Right.
resale shops and they didn't even care. So now what do I do with them? Just give them away, throw them away, what?
Yeah.
Basically, you know, first world problems, but it's still
Right.
right, because you know it's all that money. But
you
they-
probably had to buy outfits multiple times,
yes,
Mhm.
like multiple sizes.
shop at the big and tall stores.
Yeah, I mean, I've already,
I was able to go to Kroger, to Walmart or Target and buy a regular person's clothes.
It's a good feeling though, right?
yeah. I mean, when you know, keep going through clothes and stuff, it's like oh my God, it's a, pain in the butt, but
It is.
how happy is it though when you're,
That's why I go to Goodwill or thrift stores. I'm
Right?
too cheap to spend that
Right.
kind of money.
Yeah.
well, do you guys have anything else that you would like to share?
I think we've already covered everything, really,
Yeah.
especially when y'all tell them about our origin stories.
Our
Yeah.
origin. But
Yes,
Huh?
it's been a lot of fun, and I can't
it
wait.
has.
Well, anyway, we thank you guys so much for spending time with us.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, and if you're watching and you haven't tuned in to HungryHeath's channel,
Please do
and I'm
check
sure,
out their story. It is amazing.
yes, they have plenty of good recipes.
Yes.
Their story, his MS journeys on there. And when do you go live, Heath? Every what?
Every
What?
Friday night, 6:30 Central. We'll cook up an entree, make a couple little snacks. We'll show y'all how to do it. In other words, afterwards, we'll just surround it to the fat with all of our friends in the Hungry Horde. We hope you can do that.
All right. That is 6:30 Central.
Yes, sir. And y'all do our
6:30.
little show shenanigans, right?
Yes, yes, we do. Yeah, we do the appetizer.
Yes.
That's right.
Tailgate.
Well, thank you guys so much for doing this with us,
You're
Yes.
welcome. Thank you for inviting us.
and we will talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
So,
And we're back.
We're back.
We are so excited with this new video series.
We are.
We have more guests to come,
Yes.
but they have big shoes to fill because Heath and Shelly are phenomenal.
And they nailed
They definitely nailed it,
it.
as they always do.
Yes.
So in the future, we have other subscribers that's going to be telling
Sharing their stories
their success stories with us.
and why they love keto.
Hope you like the series. We're excited. And you guys take care until next time.
Ciao.